So what I decided to organize another one, just to be sure that's not to be one-off. The idea in the future is that we are going to do it every other year, so we can have PRIMO in one year and PRIMO school in the other year, so in between PRIMO meetings. Okay, so the next one is going to be this year in 2011 in Brazil, again in the end of October. It will be in another small picturesque city close to Rio, which is Búzios. The advantages of Búzios are that they are very close to Rio, 2 hours from Rio. It's again beautiful, fun. It's this beautiful peninsula surrounded by marine environment, and it has a little bit of more infrastructure in terms of hotels and conference spaces. The selection process for students is already open, so please visit the website, which is bioletin.org/primosnext, okay, or ask us information on this email. The main public, the main attendance that we are hoping to reach is first year's PhD students. Why? Because you know they can use the information that they are going to get there immediately. But we are not exclusive. We had undergrads on the first edition, and it was a success. Okay, so it's imperative, it's mandatory that you can write, read, and talk in English very well, and that you are able to work in group. We have people from different places. It's very important to be tolerant, even with cultural differences and levels of English language. Okay. The program, we are of course aware that we cannot, we cannot talk about everything in those 10 days. So what we are trying to do is to sensibilize people, the students, about the need for them to look for different information, different things that they must include in their graduation. So science communication. They must know that they must have a very strong background in statistics and biochemistry, molecular biology, and histology. They must start preparing their scientific career now, okay? They must be entrepreneurs. If you are not an entrepreneur today, you are not going to succeed neither in the academia, not on the industry, okay? And must know how to use new technologies such as distance learning to complete your background. Sometimes it's the only way, okay? And for this year, we are probably having money to bring some Nobel laureates. Stegman is helping us to get them. And of course, the main challenge to organize something like that is funding, because our proposal is that students pay their ticket to get there, and once they are there, we are in charge of everything. So of course this is expensive, and despite the help that we are having from the government and maybe from Petrobras, if you are willing to contribute, we are going to set several ways of doing that. Just visit the web page and see what you can do. We are even thinking about creating, some John Stegman Prize, in which John Stegman will sponsor one student to get to the school. So, last but not least, I really like this sculpture. It's from a Florentine sculptor named Jean Bologna, a contemporary of Michelangelo. So it's not as famous as the David, but you see, this is the first sculpture that does not have one right side to look at it. It breaks a paradigm, because all sculptures like David, they have the front side and the back side. Because this one is in a spiral, it's a different way of presenting the sculpture. Each side that you look at, you see something different, and there is no right side to look at it. So I like the idea of, the new, of the breaking the paradigm. And the other thing is that this sculpture is called the Rapt of the Sabine Women, and shows how the young Roman wins over the old, I forgot the name of the Anyway, it represents also the win of the new. You know? So I think it's that important that we are aware that our students should overtake us. They should be better than us. Otherwise, there's no evolution. And so that's why we have to invest on them. And one way of calling attention of young people is that making science so cool. It's not, it has to be more than just right. It has to be cool. No? Because you have the competition of the creationists, and they are not cool. So we can be cool because science is so cool. So it's very important to make science something so cool that we get young people to become scientists. Okay? And I invite you all to do like the blue Macau that came to Rio, and we hope to see you in Brazil. Thank you very much.
Sure people have a lot of questions. I don't know if anyone wants to take the floor at this moment, but we almost overtake our time. Okay? There's a question over there.
I just wondered if you included or plan to include maybe part of science communication, translating science for decision makers or beyond scientists for just broader audiences like the public.
Yes, when we talk about science communication, the first thing that we discuss is your audience. Okay? So you must be aware of who is your audience and then adapt your speech to that audience. And the first exercise that we do is that it's an adaptation of an activity called 2 minutes conference. So you are in line on the bank, and Bill Gates is in front of you, and you have 2 minutes to convince him because he's the next one in line. You know? So you have those 2 minutes to convince him to fund your proposal. So how would you do that? It was a disaster, and then we worked on it, and it was much better in the end.
Okay, any other questions?
I have a comment because I disagree with the absence of Argentina in your map. I come from Argentina.
I know that. I expected to be someone in that.
We have a good player in science as the soccer.
Yeah, no, but it was a joke. I didn't mean to offend. It was just we were sorry actually that we had no one from Argentina, so we could beat them on the. We had some beach soccer among the activities.